Hi, I'm Linda. I'm a librarian, and I've got 3 great book selections for you. Do you ever wish you were someone else? Do you ever wonder what it would be like to walk in someone else's shoes? Do you have a fascination with other peoples and cultures like I do? If so, you need to check out these 3 great books. The first is Inside Out and Back by Thana Lay. Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that author's name correctly. In this book, Ha is a 10-year-old girl who lives in war-torn Vietnam. Her family immigrates to the U.S. to the deep south of Alabama. And there she has to adjust to a very new life. It's written in the form of poetry, and a couple of quotes that I really like. This captures how she feels as she arrives here. It says, "So this is what dumb feels like." Another favorite quote, advice she's given is, "Oh, my daughter, at times you have to fight, but preferably not with your fists." Author Hana Lê is a Vietnamese American whose family moved from Vietnam to America when she was a girl, and she has earned advanced degrees and become an accomplished writer. So there's a voice of authenticity for you. Secondly, Enchanted Air by Margarita Engel. This is biographical. Margarita is, again, writing in the form of poetry about her life of living in the U.S. as a Cuban American and spending summers in Cuba with her mother's family, where she loves the music, the dancing, horseback riding, elements of Cuban culture. And as the Cold War and the Cuban Missile Crisis come up, that part of her life is cut off from her, and how she grieves for that. Couple of favorite quotes of mine this has to do with her being bilingual. "All I know is that I'm grateful for my 2 languages, so that I can explain that I can't explain. Speaking almost feels like having wings." And another comment on communication from a political aspect. "By now I am old enough to understand that the island's revolution merely replaced one tyranny with another. Right wing or left wing, tyrants always try to control communication. They always fail." This is, again, written by Margarita Engel, who is an accomplished Cuban American author, and this is her story. The third book is Girl in Translation by Jean Kwok. In this story, Kimberly moves from Hong Kong to New York City with her mother, where they live in an abandoned building and they work in the garment district. And Kimberly is determined to raise the prospects for her and her mother, create a better life. It has a side story of teen pregnancy and the implications and decisions that go along with that. This is written in narrative form, and a couple of my favorite quotes. Kimberly is trying to learn English, not just the language, but the inferences. She hears boys on a train talking about nuns, and she says, "From the way the other boys laughed especially loudly, as if showing off their comprehension, I saw that what I thought was a spiritual discussion had actually been a dirty joke." And from the Chinese perspective, she teaches us some of their language. "Bamboo shoot was a term for a kid who'd been born and raised in America, meaning he or she was too westernized." Girl in Translation is written by Jean Kwok. Jean herself is a Chinese immigrant from Hong Kong to New York City who has earned advanced degrees and become an accomplished writer. So in summary, I heartily recommend Inside Out and Back, Vietnam, for younger teens. I would recommend, you can probably find it in the juvenile fiction. It's semi-autobiographical. Enchanted Air, Cuba. It is also written in poetry, and I would recommend this for all teens. It's in the young adult biography section. And Girl in Translation, Chinese. I'd recommend this for older teens, and you can find that in the young adult fiction series. So, all three books, entertaining, inspiring, and the authors give it a real authenticity. Check them out.